In this video, we're going to work with portraits and utilizing Adobe Firefly AI, see how much it will improve and also kind of cut down on our time in creating these nice portraits. So let's go ahead and start. And we start with Camera Raw. You can see right here we have our portraits. It was done in a studio with a 3 lights setup, and it's also using classic Rembrandt lighting. You can recognize Rembrandt lighting if you're looking around this chick, and you can see kind of like triangle lighting going here. So this is what we call Rembrandt lighting. Okay, what we want to do for this image, again, because it's a raw format, we need to prepare a little bit for work. Usually I take highlights and I bring them down. The highlights will flatten a little bit over brighten kind of skin, mostly right there you can see with a shiny one, a little bit flattened. We'll bring this back later when we start working with dodge and burn kind of effect. Same with shadows, one bring the shadows just a little bit up. Again, we flatten contrast on our image to make it more details pop up, but we will work later to make more depth. If you remember the shapes in two-dimensional in our representations, it's working by only shadows and highlights. That is what creating for our shapes of our object in two-dimensional world. So let's go next down. We're going a little bit below, and right here let's take our orange on luminosity and bring a little bit up to restore some of that shape on the skin. Sharpness will go bring about between 60 and 70 depending on what camera you have it. This was shot, if I'm right, on a Canon 5D Mark III, and they have it anti-aliasing filter enabled in a camera, so by doing the increased sharpening it will restore to original image. And down below in optics, in profile, we enable remove chromatic abbreviations and use it profile correction. Profile correction just fixes some lens distortions, and chromatic abbreviations remove the shifting on cyan or magenta colors due to the optics. Doesn't matter how good optics you have, you always in currently station will have this chromatic abbreviation, so it's a very nice way to use this. Notice it did identify properly our lens, what we're using, Canon AF 24-105. After this, let's go ahead and click open, and it's open inside the Adobe Photoshop. I'm using the latest version Adobe Photoshop, which have it Adobe Firefly version 3, newest version that they released it. And that's what we're going to utilize for our compositing. Right here we have our portraits. What I want to do first is isolated portraits from background. We do process portraits, retouching and adjusting some elements, but for the first I want kind of remove it. It will help me to apply properly lighting and everything. So for this we have our first image. Let's uncheck right here. If you click on the lock, it will unlock. We're also going to create new layer, drop this layer below, under this, and let's call it background. This will be our image where we generate a background for this. On our model, let's go call it model. We'll just leave it 1 and press Ctrl or Command J to duplicate this. And this is we'll call let's go call it model mask, or whatever you can do. So right here in this, we want to extract with the new versions of Photoshop. To remove subjects becomes so much easy. Example, we can easily just go click and right here remove background. As we click on background, it will identify. Currently image is much easy because if we look, it was gray background, so it actually selected and remove the object. I'm going to remove background and isolate our object. If we look closer, you can see we do have a little bit problem right here on the head around, but we don't need to worry about this at this time, and it will fix it when we start creating overlay with our background. I'll show you in a second when we come to this point. Right now, let's go click on the background. We'll select all, click on generative AI, and here let's go select maybe Victorian era landscape background. England muted colors, because usually if you do other ones, it can create very bright colors. I want them a little bit down so it does not work with this, or I don't need to apply any additional filters. Let's go ahead. Landscape. So you can try different ones. We'll try create this and see what has come up right now. At this time, it's utilizing Firefly AI version 3, sent to the server and come back. We have different versions. We can select which one you think will work best. This too is kind of nice, but I like this one a little bit better. And this will be our underlaying. So we'll just need to go and enable our model on the top. You can see it's come up very well. You remember it says about how we're blending like with a head. Let's enable another model here. You can see it's overlaid, and we'll switch this model from normal to soft light or multiply, depending how much you want. If we go and switch to multiply, you can see now it's quite a bit darker. That's what I wanted to. We still see the background, but it's add this kind of Victorian some look on the back, like classic background. And also if we look on the head right now, see we kind of restore some of this last element that was before. Okay, at this time I think we're ready to go retouching in this. We could play a little bit more with our background by see how much we want to bring, but I think just kind of mute it on the back, it's worked very well. We may need to put it like lighting right here. We create new layer, for example. Let's go right there, increase size, and we can create something like this. Okay, I don't need here. Actually, I need to create here on our model. So we can add a little bit highlight behind him. A little bit like this. Also, what I notice as I'm looking at this, it's look okay, but does not have this paint effect. So let's go to filter, stylize, and we'll go oil painting. We'll click on this, and as oil painting stylization 100, I think the scale work fine. Let's go click OK, and it should apply kind of like brush strokes a little bit even more to us. Because it's using smarter filters, we always can modify or change as we need it. But I think this way with brush strokes kind of work a little bit better now. Okay, let's go back to re-enable. At this point, I want to actually work on our model. First, what I want to do is removing some blemishes. So we have it, but you can see this model already have it a very nice makeup was applied. So we're good on this. I'm just looking some details. We have it here on a pants. And for this, let's go just select create new layer. Touch ups. I just don't like this seams line, so we'll go create. We also select the healing. We have the removal tool or spot healing. This is part of the new, and if we select some of these, we can just going down like this, and you can see it will take and remove some of this line. If you also find some like a hair fur, you can same ways you can remove it. But I won't worry at this time because this is actually will go probably quite a bit dark in this area. Right here on the chair, just a little bit muted some reflections. Okay, I think we'll keep it this intact. Okay, next what I want to do is a reduction actually in some details that we have it on our portraits, and doing this by remove all the teeny tiny contrast points. What I was meaning by this, if we look closer, you can see the small noise, and this is what creating look almost like a photo. It's because high resolution. In a painting, they actually done a little bit different. They paint one color, and after you take it, brush, and on top of brush, you're creating ports, and so we're going to simulate this kind. So let's go ahead, press Ctrl Shift Alt E, Command Option Alt E. On a Mac, you select this, and we'll call it smooth. So it's moving. Also, I want to hold down Alt or Option and go down to the layer and you can see you have an arrow and you can link them. So you're parenting, but accept. But touch-ups, we want to go like this. So we'll kind of nest this. It's mean the mask right here will apply on all of them. They also kind of link to this mask, and in fact what we applied one leak out of these selections, which is what we wanted. So for the smoothness, we'll want to go to filter. Let's go to the noise, dust and scratches. And in dust and scratches, what we want to do, it's reduction details. Yeah, it's what we're going after. And you can look right here as we have it like with eyes. We want to recognize but remove those details. So it depends on how big is your image. Easy, you want to use it different settings. In this case, 15 pixels will work great. So we'll go ahead, click OK. And also I don't want apply everywhere. I want brush in. So for this one, we'll hold down Alt or Options and click on a mask. This will create black mask, which is kind of everything. Next, we want to take our brush, soft around, and we want to say at least 10% opacity for our brush, and we can just brush in. Usually, I don't touching the hair, like eyebrows, just only on the skin. So what we want to do, we want to kind of, not even lips, eyes, we just only skin at all. We need to remember also to do hands. And you know what, it's be sure it's using white color. So we're actually using properly masking here. Right there. You can see how it's smooth. It's this already look somewhat like a painting. Okay, let's go right here. Same. There you go. See, reduction details. Let's give you this feel. This is also a very nice way to reduce noise. Okay, I think this is good. So after this, let's go to create a new layer. Control Shift Alt T, Command Option Alt T again. This will be our hair. Touch up, same Alt or Option, and click to nest them. You can also go ahead and go select directly from here, and it's called clipping. So if we have it down below, you can see. Okay, they have it right here, release clipping mask or other. So, but we want to clip in to this. Okay, let's go next. Create another. Before we create mask, we'll go to filter. And we already kind of done once between these stylizations, oil painting. So we'll apply oil painting, stylization 10, clearness 10, scale 0, 1, brush details. We want to match a little bit lighting going from these directions. Let's click OK. And we'll go to filter, sharpen and sharp mask. And pop up a little bit 125. So I just want to bring a little bit closer. Next, same Alt or Options, click on a mask to hide this. Let's get closer, and we can also even get maybe down to like 5%, and we can start painting in. So what it does, it's reduce a little bit of the noise of the hair and going with the direction of the fiber, which is almost look like somebody took a brush and brushed that in. Okay. And I want to apply this. Work very good. These things work on the hair, work very good on a fur. If you have fake flowers, actually, it's work very good on the fake flowers to make them look more real, to hide details. So that's what we're doing. Right here, just applied. Okay, let's keep closer. If we click, you can see, just slightly make nice looking. Okay, so we kind of created this, and next we're going to do it's more dodge and burn kind of effect, make with a lighting, and we'll do two types of the lighting. One, it is bring shape back to our figure, and the second, it will be similar but only on a bigger scale, to just set lighting mode for all our image. So for this, let's go create new layer, and we're going to edit fill. And we fill this with 50% grade, normal, 100% opacity. Click OK. Let's rename it Dodge and Burn. We'll clip or link all together. You can see as you clip it, it's going to our mask. And switch this to soft light. And this time, soft light will be invisible. It's what we want to do. Soft light is a contrast-based blending mode, which just help us to blend, make invisible in a gray, and if we make darker, it's kind of like a curve going make more darker, so we can increase shadowing and highlights. Okay, right now I'm with white color. I'm adding points here. The white, the brighter light, it will create look closer and bigger, and darker, smaller and more far away. So it's what we try to do. Okay, also I use the X key to switch. If you notice right here, colors, it switch between my black and white. So it's make much easier to work on this. And that's what we try to do, just create shadowing again. We're creating a little bit more depth on the portraits. Okay, let's go up on the top with a head as well. Right here, and we can add a little bit more shadowing around. Remember, we need to remember hands as well. Okay, we'll go brush down right here. Let's go create again shadowing. Okay, you can see just apply a little bit. Okay, also at this time I want to create just a little bit darker some areas, and mostly it's because we want to hide those elements. Like right there, a little bit darker. Okay, we'll come back when we'll do more global. This again just mostly representing of the shapes. Okay, let's look on the portraits again. This was before and after. You can see it's add more dimensions. Okay, our next step, we want to apply more global type dodge and burn. So we create new. And you can have it shift backspace. It will open a fill with what we done before. So it's what we're going to fill here. Click on soft light, and we'll start with the black color. So we'll just go create a little bit more shadowing, framing almost, and you can see it just hide some of those elements away. We can switch on the white if you want, just add a little bit lighting around here. Again, back, and I'm switching up, press X to switching between black and white, so kind of play with colors. Okay, after we're done with this, let's go to apply some elements to this. For example, if we look closer, let me show what's going on here. You see we have kind of on a head, a little bit out of our painting. So what I'm going to do, Control Shift Alt E, create new. We'll go to filter, stylizing oil painting. So we'll just apply this, click OK for everything, and we'll go also to filter, sharpen, non-sharp. I want a little bit more depth on this, so increasing this way, and we're going to, I'm just renaming layers. So this will be a global paint, and we'll take these, add alt or option, so it will hide everything. We'll select our brush. Let's go select 10%, and we'll just brushing in. You can see we just add a little bit blending on those edges, just help us. Then also you can even go a little bit over some elements that may be distracted. Too high details will take attention of our eyes, and we want sometimes hide, and it's helpful just going with over some of the details just to hide, create a little bit right there integration. And you can see now our head a little bit better blending on the edges with our background. Okay, let's go next. We need it kind of blend even more, and different it will be because we have it like right here, higher noise, no noise at all. So the best way to do this is introduce the noise over all image. For this, we'll create new layer. Let's go call it noise. We'll fill up with 50% gray. Going to filter, noise, add noise. You want to do uniform and chromatic, you can play around, and depend on the resolution of your image, you can change this. I think we'll keep it same as before, 15%. If you remember, we're using about 15 pixels on other stuff. So let's click OK and switch to the soft light. At this point, if we come closer, you can see we have this uniform grain through all of this, which is help us kind of bring image together. After this, we need to apply some color corrections and a little bit more tone in, because right now the color still be a little bit off from background, and foreground does not look a little bit too vivid as well. So let's go first, we'll go to select black and white, and in black and white we can bring some of those elements a little bit like this. Okay, and let's go take black and white opacity down, so we kind of take saturations a little bit, just cut top of saturations a little bit off on this. Next we're going to select new layer, and this will be selective colors, which allowed us to manipulate per each channel and colors with intensity. So we're going to select black, and you can see this is our black. Don't like necessarily crush black, but I want like -2, around -3. This is our shadows, and shadows usually I'm going in the blue, create a little bit colder colors. So we'll just select like this, going in somewhat cyanish color. We'll go next to neutral, and this is our general, so we'll just leave this at 0 here. And I want to create this a little bit warmer, so we're going slightly yellowishy and a little bit, maybe too much red, just like right there. Okay, let's go next. We'll select our white, and we're gonna play with this a little bit more, maybe even put it to the color. Okay, let's go next, select our red color, this clothing, and for the red actually I'm going to the darker, create more deeper, kind of warmer but deeper colors. So I needed to do like right there. Let's give it some kind of richness and a color, and that's nice because it's work over this color palette. So you can see this before, and we can play with the intensity of this overlay. I think around here should be work very well. Okay, let's go next, creating curves, and curves we're going to switch to the color mode because we don't want to affect luminosity in this case, just only colors. And we'll go switch on the channel blue. Same, we'll take a bottom, bring in, middle a little bit down. This is what called scene curve. It was using primarily for the film, have it cinematic look. Just apply a little bit right there. Maybe around this color. And here's interesting things. If you have an old painting, usually how paint it's lead based or other chemicals based. So if you notice the shifting, they're getting yellow, and they're getting yellow because they usually cover with a oil, linen oil was using inside the painting, and they're turning with time to the yellow, give it yellowish color over bluish. So it's the reason why you look on all painting and they look all yellowish, is because the linen oil was using inside. So in our case, we kind of want to simulate some older ones, so it's what we used to be. I think this way it's look very nice. All what we need to do at this point, just go and put our signature. So I'll just put this. I don't necessarily like this font, so I'm going to change. Maybe, you know, something fancy, funny one. Okay. And we can put it white color. Actually, I don't like put it my name very visible. I'll just put it on the bottom and hide it almost. Just something there for the people who want to see who created. because it's so easy to remove right now with all this new AI technology. You can easily remove any text out. Okay, I think this is good. So let's go ahead, just select everything here. I think we're going up to this one guy. Yeah, let's do this. So I'm going to select this guy, drag him all the way down here. Okay, we'll select this to normal, and we'll just select all of these layers, group them. Okay, where my group? Right there, yeah. Okay, there you go. Let's go call it retouching. I'll just delete that one. Okay, there you go. Delete. So the reason why we can look before and after. So you can see how much it's changed. So before we have a flat image. It's not bad lighting, it's good lighting, but it does not have a kind of effect, the pop-up effect. So it's look flat image. And after our retouching, we have it nice with the background jittering with AI. Usually two main things we was using here. It is object subject oscillations and a background, and those is actually created most time it take for me when previously I create this image. So you can see it's a save about half time I can produce right now, painting like look compositing with a model in this. So it's much easy, much faster to do, and beside that, it's still create your work. It's still unique and just belong to you. Well, thanks for watching this. Let me know if you have more questions, and we'll see you next time.